Hi, I'm Sheila Shamay. Welcome to my channel. And today, you guys, I'm going to do the first impression on the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Looks like this. I've been using this constantly, and I have promised, or I at least said to you all, that I will come back with a first impression video. So that's what I'm going to do today, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. And yes, you guys, I will do something to my hair, okay? I'll do something to it. But it's early. Well, it's not really early. I just got up, and y'all, we had a little snow, but it's not bad. Like, you can still get out there on the roads and stuff. But yeah, we got a little snow, so I thought I'm inside for today. Let me go ahead and try to get these videos up for you guys. This was requested video as well. I wanted to do it, but it was also requested. So yeah, let me go ahead and get started. And the requested video for the eyeliners with me and my daughter, it will be I will get that up next, okay? If not, right after this video. So it could be two videos back to back on both of those requested videos, okay? This foundation and the eyeliners that me and my daughter like to use. But let's go ahead and get started on the first impression of this foundation by Maybelline. Alright, you guys, first of all, I want to say that this foundation is an hydrating foundation, okay? But it's also matte. So because it's matte, for my dry skin, I have to moisturize my skin, okay? I got to do that because it is matte, and I'll tell you what I feel about it as I go, okay? And then on the back of it, it says fresh, new, and flawless. Dream Velvet whips a fresh gel into a velvet soft texture. Complexion is perfected and smooth with a soft matte finish, just like velvet. Skin feels fresh with lasting hydration. Okay, that's what the description says on the back of the packaging. If you want more details about this product, you can look it up for yourself. I'm pretty sure on the MaybellineNewYork.com or website, or you can Google it. And you can find out more information about this foundation. But I'm just going to go by what I feel about it and how it does for my skin. But first of all, let me moisturize my skin. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to moisturize my entire face with this L'Oreal Hydra Renewal cream here. Alright, I'm going to do my entire face with this, okay? Alright. So I'm going to apply this to my face. All over. Ooh, my ring. Alright. So get my towel. Alright, so after I do that, now this is what I'm going to do for this demonstration. For this demonstration, I'm going to use my Hydra oil on one side of my face. Now, I have used my collagen serum. I used it overnight, the Dermactin TS. So it also helps keep my skin balanced with oils. It just helps my skin to produce oil. But however, it's cold outside. My skin is dry, okay? A little bit. It's not as dry as it was like previous videos or last year and the year before that and the year before that. But I do need to put some oil, at least on one side of my face, okay? I know I just hydrated my skin with the L'Oreal Hydra Renewal moisturizer, but I'm going to add this Hydra oil on my right side of my face. To you all, it will be the left side, okay? Alright, I'm just going to apply a couple of drops. I think that was about 3 drops, okay? Just going to apply some on one side of my face, okay? Just a little bit. So you can see the purpose of me doing this is that you can see how it looks if you use an hydrating oil or a moisturizer of some sort, and what it looks like just with regular moisturizer, okay? Especially if you have dry skin and you're trying to use this foundation by Maybelline. I'll tell you more as I get into the video, and now I'm ready. Alright, so it does come with this Dream Blender foundation blending sponge here. Alright, now I'm not gonna do like use this all over my face, okay? I'm just not gonna do it. If you want to, you can. It does have directions in the back how you should use this blender. If you want to use it all over the face, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it underneath my eyes, around my nose, and around my mouth area, okay? That's what I'm going to use it for, okay? Just me on this demonstration. That way, I'll use it, and you'll be able to see what it does, okay? Alright. Alright, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. Alright, so I think that's good, okay? Hopefully you can see me good, hopefully. Alright, so this is how the blender looks, of course. I've showed it to you all. Alright, I'm not going to use that till I get around the eye area, my nose area, and around my mouth. But here's the foundation. Once again, it's the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. And what I'm going to do is what I've been doing. Okay. On this side of my face with the extra hydration or whatnot, I'm going to use my hand. I've been using my fingers, okay, to apply this foundation. That's just the way I've been doing it. I'm not telling everybody to do it. That's just the way I do it, and I find that it looks beautiful that way. Alright, so I'm going to use my fingers on this side of my face with the hydro oil, the extra hydro oil on this side, okay, on my right side. On my left side, I'm going to use this sponge here. It's just a cosmetic sponge here. I'm going to use it on my left side of my face with the product, okay? And then, of course, I'm going to use the blender just around my nose area like this, and around my mouth area, and underneath my eyes. I'm going to use this product. Alright, so now you know what I'm going to do. So, let's start with the right side because I'm just going to use my hands, okay? My fingers. Alright, my shade is in number 90, Honey Beige. However, if I wanted to, I could mix it with the next shade lighter. If I want to, but I really like this shade, okay? This will be the great shade for me, number 90, okay? But I'm using it now because I like the way it looks on my skin. Alright, so I'm going to add a dab to my finger. My fingers and my hands have been cleansed, okay? So I'm just going to dab it on. And it doesn't take much of this product. Like, it's such good coverage. It's like full coverage, you guys. It's like a thick, it's thick feeling, but then it's smooth as it stays. It's very thin, but it's smooth. So now I'm going to rub this in, okay? Now what the oil is going to do is that because this is somewhat mattifying when you first apply it, it goes on very matte. Okay, I'm just going to say it. And you will see it on the other side of my face. It goes on very matte, but because I have dry skin, if I put a little oil on, of course, it's not going to be as matte, okay? So that's the purpose of me putting the oil on one side. Now I'm going to do my eyelid. Yes, I do. I do my eyelid as well. And you see the difference. I didn't put no oil on my eyelid, but you see how matte my eyelid looks already, like without the hydro oil being on my eyelid. Alright, so I pretty much got that half of my face done, except for the areas around my nose and around my mouth area, whatnot. I'm going to use the sponge for that. So Now, I'm going to use this blender, not the sponge, okay? I'm going to use this blender, and I'm going to try to use one side of it, okay? I'm sorry, you guys. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit on my nose. A little product goes a long way. You don't need a lot of this unless you just want a lot. Okay, so I'm trying to get a cold, you guys. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this in. I think I need a little bit more on my nose. I can just kind of see it. And I don't know why I went over here on this side for. Alright, I can kind of tell it. Alright. So, just going to kind of blend it like this. That's the way I can understand the instructions as to how to use this product, okay? Just kind of roll it over the areas. And then on the corner sides of the nose and underneath the eyes, I'm going to add a little product around that area. So that's my problem areas. You can just actually use one side of it and just dab it in as if it was a regular beauty blender. It is a beauty blender. It's just on a stick. So just dab that on. Or you can still roll it. If you want to roll it on like it says you can roll it. But for myself, I just rather just dab it in around those areas where I need that good coverage. As you can see, it does give coverage. This foundation is buildable and it is a full coverage foundation. On this side you may not can see it as good because I put the oil on, but I wanted to show you how it looks. Just, you know, if your skin is so dry you just cannot use this foundation, because when it goes on very dry, in my opinion. It's not hydrating at first. It's not hydrating at all. You can still roll it like this if you want, but I'm just going to blend it as if it's a regular beauty blender, okay? Alright, that's how I'm going to do it. And, so, yeah, you guys, that is the side. And I like to actually use it on my eyelids, too, this blender. I think it smooths the foundation out. And it is a bit thick. I want to say that when you first apply it, to me it's kind of thick. But once you just blend it out, it kind of thins out and it gives a good coverage, okay? Alright, so this is the side. And I don't think I blend my chin area. Let me add just a little bit more product down here. So I almost forgot about my chin. Alright. That's how I would do it. But you can roll it in that rolling motion if you want. But however, I'm just going to dab mine on like that. Alright, so let me go ahead and do this side of the face so that you can see the difference between really hydrating the skin, like I've done on this side, compared to just using a moisturizer and no oil or anything additional on this side, okay? Just moisturizer. No primer was used on either side, as you saw. Alright, side, I'm going to use this sponge, okay, on this side, except for around my nose, on my eyelids, and underneath my eyes. I'm going to use this blender, but I'm going to use this clear side on this side, okay? I've used this side, I'm going to use the clear side, okay, without the oil and all that stuff being on it. So let's go ahead and apply some. And like I said, I simply love to use my fingers with this foundation and just apply it to my skin. That's just what I like to do, okay? However, if you want to use a foundation brush to apply it, or even a beauty blender, you can. I mean, that's up to you. But this is just how I like it. Alright, I'm going to use this cosmetic sponge, and I'm just going to blend this onto my skin. Remember, this side has no hydro oil on my skin. I just used a regular moisturizer. Because once again, I feel like this foundation goes on so dry that I feel like you need a moisturizer if you have dry skin. And actually, I think if you have oily skin, you still need a moisturizer just to smooth out the foundation, because this foundation goes on pretty thick, okay? I feel like you need a moisturizer just to be able to smooth the foundation out. And as you can tell, if you look on this side, you can see the shine, the little glow on this side. And even the foundation is not as full coverage because I have the oil on my skin. But if you look at this side, to me, there's more coverage because I used less. I didn't use no oil, okay? No oil, just moisturizer. So I see more coverage on this side. Hopefully you can see. I know this lighting, you guys, but I will try to fix it, okay? I've been saying that forever now, but I will. Hopefully you all can still see the difference, hopefully. But there is a difference, and I do like it better with my hands when I want that real good full coverage. The next best thing will be a beauty sponge. Honestly, I know some of us may think, I'm not going to use a beauty sponge. I mean, come on. But I'm telling you, sometimes the old school products do the best with foundation. And I feel like this beauty sponge does as good as using my fingers, okay? Just my regular fingers, okay? Alright, I can see way more coverage over here with this beauty sponge than over here where I use my fingers and the Hydra oil, okay? Alright, but it depends on what you like. If you want this foundation to look somewhat glowy and not so matte, add you a facial oil or add an additional moisturizer to your face, okay, or serum or something, moisturizing serum. But without it, you get more coverage, but you do have to moisturize skin. This product, like I said, once again, it goes on thick, and you have to use a moisturizer to thin it out, to blend it out. Because when I first used it, I decided not to put anything on my face because it said hydrating but matte. And I said, okay, let me see what it do without a moisturizer. To me, it came out blotchy without a moisturizer or some kind of oil on the skin, okay? You have to moisturize the skin. So that's my opinion, okay? But however, everybody do what they want to do. Alright, I'm going to put some on my lid, the product, the moisturizer, and on the side of my nose, and even right here on the side of my mouth and onto the chin. And I'm going to use that beauty sponge, but I'm going to use the clean side, okay? And I'm just going to dab it. You can roll it as it says like this, but I'm just going to dab it, okay? Just dabbing it onto my skin, the product and all. Oh, I didn't put no product underneath my eyes, okay? I got to go back and put some product underneath my eyes. I feel like that beauty blender thing is just a waste of time. Okay, that's just me, okay? And when I use this foundation, I normally do not use, I mean, I do at times use a concealer, but you really don't have to with this product. It's such good coverage that you don't need concealer, honestly. And I got dark pigmentation, and I think my under eyes look good enough just to start my foundation. And even around my nose, usually I'm red there and all that. It covers so well. The thing I want to say about it though, as my thoughts, my feelings on this foundation, the only thing that is a downside about this foundation is the fact that it's a great foundation because it goes on dry, okay? And you can tell it's a mattifying foundation. But as you wear it, you see the hydration. I want to say that. Your skin kind of gets a little bit dewy. Just a little bit, okay? So that's why I say matte but hydrating foundation. So it goes on really matte at first. And as the time goes, it kind of hydrates, okay? Your skin kind of gets a little dewy as the day go, which I love. I have dry skin. I love it. It has great coverage, as you see. I mean, to me, on this side with the beauty sponge, yes. If you don't want to use your fingers, use a beauty sponge. Just a regular cosmetic sponge. You can use a beauty blender, a dry beauty blender if you want. Or if you want to wet it, you can. But I find that a regular cosmetic sponge like this works the best outside of my fingers, okay? But what I want to say is, because it's hydrating and because it has that thick, because it's like a thick whipped type of foundation, moussey foundation, with those kind of foundations on me, it tends to show your enlarged pores, okay? It tends to show if you have a few breakouts coming, you know, coming through the skin or getting ready to come out. It tends to show those things. If you have blotchy areas, like certain areas of your skin is blotchy, or your certain areas of your skin is dry, it shows it. But when it starts to move into that hydration mode, when it goes from matte to hydrating, you don't see it as much. But when it gets into that hydrating mode and you done wore, say if you done had it on for about 3 to 4 hours, the coverage is not as beautiful as it is when you first apply it, okay? But you still have the coverage, but you can see that it thins out in certain areas of the face, okay? Ingredient it has in this foundation, that's probably what causes that to your foundation to kind of splotch up throughout the day a little bit. And I'm not saying bad. I'm not saying all over the face, just certain areas. For me, it's usually up here on top of my cheeks area and a little bit on my chin, and of course around my nose a little bit. That's what I see the most, that blotches up a little bit. And but I just want to make that point so you will know that this foundation is like, it's really good. I do love this foundation, but that's the only thing that I see that's a little bit down on it. Like, as far as if I had to pick something that wasn't so good about it, it would be that it goes on full coverage. It's really, really matte and beautiful at first, and then when it hits that hydration mode, you can get a little blotchy areas, or your skin can get a little blotchy, depending on your skin type. For me, being having dry skin, I can see a few dry patches, and it kind of peeps through when it hydrates. And you would think it would hydrate those dry areas, but on me, for some reason, certain areas kind of get, the product just kind of like wears off in a sense, okay, when it hits that hydration mode. I hope you understand what I'm saying, but that's what it does for me, you guys. And this is the foundation look, and so this is how it looks on this side with the oil, okay? As you can tell, it is a bit shiny up here around my cheek area, but it still has a good bit of coverage. But you can see my moles, my little freckles, and like I said, with this foundation, you can see a little bit of the, even though it's covered, but you still can see certain areas that you might be like, I can still see a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But on this side, you can see it more because I have the oil, so the oil kind of thinned the foundation out, made it even more of a hydration type of look. And then on this side, of course, there's more coverage because I did not use an oil on this side. A good bit has been covered, a lot has been covered. But I do tend to see some of my enlarged pores right up in here. I've been having that issue lately, right up in here and on top of my nose. However, my nose haven't been looking too bad. I used this facial mask and it really did help, but I still see my pores are enlarged right up in here, and this foundation kind of brings that out because it's so mattifying, you know. but the coverage is beautiful. I think my complexion looks pretty when I use this foundation, but I just had to tell you what I feel about it. And so yeah, you guys, let me go ahead and finish up my makeup, and then I will be back with makeup on my face, and you can see how I look with makeup on with this foundation. All right, what I mean complete my makeup with eyeshadows and blush and all that. Okay, all right. Okay, you guys, I finally got done with my eyes. I haven't put on everything else. I figured I'd go ahead and go through the steps of putting on my blush. I think I'm going to add a pressed powder because usually I don't use a pressed powder when I use this foundation. So I wanted you to see how this foundation looked now that it's been a little bit of time. It's been like over 30 minutes. So I want you to look at the foundation and see how you can see now that even on this side it's starting to look hydrated. I'll zoom you in, and the lighting is just hopefully you can see on this side here. You should be able to tell that it's not as matte as it was. So this is a hydrating foundation. And over here, of course, it's even more luminous on this side because I put the Hydra Oil on this side. So you can see that it does hydrate the skin after so long. Like the skin gets hydrated, but you still kind of have this matte look. And like I was saying about some of the imperfections, when it starts to hydrate or when it starts to get into that hydrating mode, you will see certain areas, like if you can see, I see a little bit of my let's see, just like I said, my enlarged pores, and I've been breaking out just a little bit this week. But over here on this side, of course, you see more, even down in here where my pimples are starting to, they're healing up, but you can still see a little bit of imperfections on the skin. So I want to say that this foundation, I gotta get used to this, you guys. Okay, I have to say that this foundation is a good foundation, but however, when it hits that hydrating mode or whatnot, this hydration, when it starts off it's matte, and then when it gets hydrating, it can kind of rub off that super like coverage that you get from a matte finish. So that's what I wanted to show you. However, I love it because even though it goes on very thin on the skin, well, even though it goes on very thick on the skin, it does thin out in time. So that's that hydration mode kicks in, and it feels heavy at first because it's like a thick consistency, but as you wear it, it kind of hydrates and kind of evens out. But when it hydrates on the skin, you will have certain areas where you might see little patches of things like your imperfections. But the look, as far as the foundation, is still a good foundation. I still like it, but that's just the only little negative thing about the foundation. But I love it. I don't mind if my freckles stick out a little bit, my moles stick out a little bit. It doesn't bother me at times. If I want to, you know, if I want a full coverage look, I just add some concealer underneath this foundation or whatnot, try it, and just you know, build it up to a full coverage. Now it is full coverage when you apply it, like I said, but as you wear it throughout the day, that hydration mode kicks in, and yeah, that's when your foundation kind of just don't look as full coverage. It looks like a medium coverage. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Now what I'm gonna do real quick, you guys, now that I've told you how I feel about it, I'm gonna add powder because I haven't added powder in a while. This is the Jordana pressed powder in the shade Honey, and so I feel like just adding powder to see if I can build it up now that it's been like, you know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, almost an hour, because I've actually done an eye tutorial on this eye makeup look. So yeah, you guys, I've done an eye makeup look or whatnot tutorial on this eye look, so that's what took so long. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply this powder on top just to see how it will look, because I haven't used any powder on my face. So I'm gonna use this brush, this Face Secrets brush here, and I'm just going to add some powder to my face. And I haven't even highlighted my under eyes. Now the thing I can say about this, hold on. The thing I can say about this foundation is that you really don't have to use concealer. You don't need concealer. But if you just have to have concealer, you can. I have used it both ways, with concealer, without. You don't need it because it's just so mattifying and such a good coverage that underneath my eyes, I see that I really don't need, you know, I really don't need a concealer. Now, I do like to go back in with the highlighting concealer and just kind of, you know, highlight my under eyes because I like that look. So yeah, you guys, you really don't have to use concealer with this. You don't have to use concealer with this foundation, the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating foundation. You don't need concealer, and that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. That means less product on the face. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight the under eyes, and I'm going to use the Femme Couture Mineral Effects Illuminator powder. It's like a mineral powder, so I'm going to apply that to my under eyes really quick like. So yeah, let me just add a little bit just to brighten up my under eyes a little bit. There we go, just to brighten. And I didn't really blend the edges of my eyeshadows, you guys, so yeah, excuse that. Guess I should have, but anyways, I didn't. So I'm just adding some of this illuminating powder to my under eyes, and as you can tell, I really don't need it. It just kind of blends into the foundation or whatnot. I really don't need it, but I'll go ahead and put a little bit on anyways. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bronze, and I'm going to use the Rimmel bronzers that I've talked about. And I'm going to use, no I'm not, today I'm going to use this bronzer, okay? I'm going to do another video on the bronzers and everything. I think I've already used the bronzers before from Rimmel. I'm going to use this bronzer by Couture Diva bronzing powder. It came out of a pack that I bought from Sally's Beauty Supply, but the bronzer looks like this. So I'm going to bronze up my skin using this bronzer here and all. So yeah, I'm going to bronze up my skin a little bit. I actually put my bronzer on my cheeks now, not just on the hollow of my cheeks or below my cheeks. Actually put it on top of my cheeks. I just think that look is pretty right now. So that's what I've been doing. Just put a little bit on my neck too. Alright. Now I'm going to do my nose. And I'm going to use my contour brush here. I love this dual-ended brush. It's just fabulous. I'm going to use some of this bronzer and just contour my nose here on the side. Right here. Well, I actually got the wrong brush. Oops. Alright, so I'm just going to contour the sides of my nose. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to blend that out with this contour brush here. Kind of blend it out. Now I'm going to take a contour brush. Shit. Now I'm going to take an illuminator and, yeah, I'm going to use something to illuminate my face and all, and then I'm going to use, well, I need my blush first, okay? Yes, I need my blush. I'm going to put on my blush first, and I think I'm going to use I'm going to use a blush out of one of these palettes. I think I'm going to use the blush out of this Golden Sands Rimmel Contour Kit, which I love. It's actually called a sculpting palette, okay? I love these. If you have not checked these out by Rimmel, they are amazing. But I'm going to use the blush from this palette here. And I just love this pink shade. It's so pretty. It's not too bold. It's just right. I just love it. It's just a little bit of a pink shade, just enough that it doesn't go on too much. It's just right for my skin tone, in my opinion. At first I didn't think it was gonna be noticeable, but it is just beautiful. It's one of my favorite blushes. So I need to buy a backup palette of this because I absolutely love this pink blush. And the whole contour or sculpting kit. I love these Rimmel sculpting kits. They are amazing, okay? And you're probably thinking I'm putting too much, but I'm not, because this blush goes on very lightly. So I'm not putting too much on, actually. Alright, so I got my blush on, so now I'm going to use a highlighter. And I want a highlighter. With this eye makeup look, I want it on, okay? Alright, so I forgot to put a little bit of that blush onto the tip of my nose, okay? Been liking that look. I love it when it's winter to have that little color on my nose, okay? Little pink or peach color on my tip of my nose. I love that. But anyways, I'm going to add a highlighter. And you know what? I think I'm going to use this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. I usually use one shade. I haven't mixed them all up because I feel like, you know, a shade will go with any kind of makeup look you might want to go for. So I just been using the shades individually, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to grab, let's see, what should I use? I'm going to grab this ELF sculpting brush here of mine, and I'm just going to grab this golden color here and the pink. I'm going to do both of those and add it on top of my cheeks here. Yes, that kind of makes it look like a wet look, and that's what I wanted. Very pretty. I love that look. Just a little bit on the tip of my nose right here, and just a little bit on my chin. And a little bit right here, center of my forehead, like right up in here. Alright, I love that. I love that look. Alright, you guys. Now it's time for lipstick, and the whole makeup look will be complete. And the first impression of the video, you know, has already been done. So let me apply my lipstick real quick, okay? Alright, you guys. I'm going to go with this Femme Couture Ultra Hydrating Lip Color in Fresh Poppy. P-O-P-P-Y. P-O-P-P-Y. There it is, if you can read it. Probably not. This thing don't focus, okay? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's in the number, doesn't have a number on it. But it's Femme Couture lipstick, okay? And it's like this light coral shade. I just felt like the coral would go good with this green, lime green color on my eyes. So yeah, I really like this. Alright, there's the lipstick. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of a nude lip gloss on top of it, just to kind of like, a pink gloss, just to, well, it's kind of nude, okay? I'm going to use this Black Radiance Perfect Tone Lip Gloss. It's in the number 5110. I'm just going to add this right on top of that peach color, this gloss here. Okay, got everything zoomed up. Just makes my lips look a little bit more glossy. However, I put just a little bit too much on, so I'm just going to alright, you guys, so this is the finished look. Okay, this is the finished look. This is how my face look. As you can see, I'm like olive on you. This is how the makeup look on my face, the foundation. So I hope you all enjoyed my first impression on this Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. And I have to say, I like the foundation, but you know, the only one side that I don't like about it, I mentioned it in the video, so I don't need to repeat myself again. But I do highly recommend this foundation. I think it's lovely to wear all day. I feel like it doesn't clog up the pores. Even though it goes on thick, as you wear it, it thins out to a matte, it thins out to a hydrating finish. So therefore, your face won't be so clogged up for the entire day, okay? I do feel like your skin can breathe through this foundation throughout the day, okay? So I do recommend it for that reason as well, and I do like the coverage. However, you know what I said, okay? Alright, you guys, I'm gonna let you go. So I hope you enjoy this first impression on the Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation by Maybelline. I do like it. I give it a thumbs up. And so, yeah, you guys. And then about the beauty blender or beauty sponge, I personally don't care for this. I mean, I really don't think you absolutely need it. But if you want to, you can. I just feel like, you know, it's just one of those products that I would use just strictly for underneath my eyes, around my nose, and probably not even around my mouth. I might use it, but basically around my nose and underneath my eyes, I would use this product for concealer. Outside of that, I would not use foundation or anything like that to apply to my face with this blender. But however, it does really pack on the foundation. And so if you want to use it for foundation, use it. I mean, come on. If you like it, you like it. For me, I don't care for that to apply my foundation, you know. But however, everybody's different, so you do what you want to do. But that's just my feelings on the blender, okay? Alright, you guys, I'm going to let you go. So you have a wonderful day, and bye.